If your one-on-ones feels like a check-in, not a coaching session, you're not leading, you're just a leader. A study found that only 14% of employees agree that their one-on-ones are useful. But in 2025, AI gives us a second chance to make one-on-ones what they meant to be. Coaching sessions that build trust, clarity, and growth. Let's start with why most one-on-ones are broken and what do the best managers do differently. So the problem and the reason why most of the one-on-ones are broken is that we're focusing on tasks and status. How is the project? Are you still working on it? Great, see you next week. So we have the same pattern in every one-on-one as in a status update or a daily stand-up. And the cost is that 70% of one-on-one's time is spent on useless operational updates. And this is not the reason why we are holding one-on-ones. We are missing the opportunity to focus on the one-on-ones where we can build trust, build clarity, and we can have more engagement and more performance from that team member. So if your one-on-one notes look like a to-do list, you're not managing people, you're just managing tasks. So what separates the status update from coaching sessions? It is not charisma, it's just system. So how do we make sure that we're focusing on people and not tasks? So the old way or the bad way, how it's used to happen, is we talked about how is the project, what is blocking you, is there anything else you want to talk about? So these are really repetitive and passive sessions that we use on the one-on-ones. And how it should look like is that, what is that something that energized you this week? Where did you feel stuck? Or what skill would you change for a new project? Or how can I support you better? So we have to make sure, we have to understand, if we look at our team members as you would look at a player on a sports team, you have to figure out what they need, what kind of nutrition, what kind of training, what kind of recovery do they need to perform best on the field so your team can win on the weekend. So now imagine if AI could help you prepare those coaching questions automatically and then tailor it to every team member you talk to. Let's see how it would look like. So every one-on-one with AI should have 3 phases: a before, during, after. What is AI helping you before? It's going to help you prep for the one-on-one meetings. So you will use a prompt set that you can get by commenting one-on-one in the comment section. I'm going to share the prompt set with you. That prompt set is going to take in all the previous one-on-one notes or any kind of notes you have with that team member. It's going to take those in, figure out what that team member needs, what kind of questions do you need to ask to figure out what is happening with the team member and where things are going. And then it's going to help you have those coaching questions and everything ready for you in a note to go to the one-on-one meeting. And then the during. You go to that one-on-one meeting, you have 2 options. Option 1 is going to be a meeting transcriber. So that's going to take all the notes from that meeting, transcribe the meeting for you, and then the output is going to be everything that you talked about. The second option is to take your own notes. Whatever way you choose, the next step is to summarize it. And that's going to be the after, step 3. So the after it, we're going to use another prompt set. And in that prompt set is going to be a summary, and it's going to create a summary in a certain one-on-one format. You're going to put your meeting notes or the meeting transcript into that prompt set, and then it's going to put out everything that you need in a structured summary of that one-on-one meeting. And guess what? That output is going to be the input for the preparation for the next one-on-one meeting. So this is how we use AI to decrease the admin work on the one-on-one so you can actually focus on the coaching for the team members. So we are trying to prepare, trying to do the during, and then summary after to feed it back to preparation for the next one-on-one. And this is how you tailor it to every single team member that you work with. So let's look at some AI-generated coaching questions and how do they help us. As an example, you've led more client calls lately. What did you learn about yourself? So what is the reason behind this coaching question? The reason behind it is that you want to figure out how did they made more client calls lately. You want to figure out what happened with them, or how did they thought, or what did they do, whatever it is, to make sure that you can reproduce that situation. In terms of a sports example, so if you see someone playing really good on Friday, you want to figure out what did you do before the game? What did you eat? What music did you listen to? So what was your ritual before the game that it turned out so good. So now let's try to reproduce that, right? So this is the same thing. Which part of your work gives you the most energy right now? Okay, so you want to figure out how to boost performance. So you want to know if there's something that is draining their energy, what is that and why is it happening? Is it something that we can get rid of, or is it something that we have to fix or figure out so it's not going to drain their energy so they can focus on all the other work that they do? Where did you feel most confident this week? What made that possible? We want to figure out what makes them feel confident, prepared, energetic, so we can make sure to get in those situations more so we can elevate the performance of the entire team. So we have to reflect, refine, and recommit. So it means that we have to figure out what is under the surface for that team member. So that is the reason we're asking the question. They're going to answer, we're trying to clarify, so we make sure that we understand what is that thing that they are trying to tell us. And then we have to recommit. We have to make sure to lock it in, to understand. So if it's something that we have to boost, or if it's something that we have to fix, we know, and then we're going to commit to it, and we're going to set it into a calendar, do it as an action item, whatever it is that you do, and then we have to figure it out. So let's see what happens when leaders actually commit to this playbook and what happens when they don't. So a common thing that happens is curiosity over control. So we have to be curious as leaders of why people are doing what they're doing and why things are happening. And we have to make sure to figure out how to use it, how to fix it, how to support it, how to talk about it in any kind of way. But we do not need to control it, because that's not going to help us in any way. We just have to be curious and then figure out a way to solve that problem. Another one would be to use AI as an amplifier, not as an actor. It can help us figure out stuff. It can help us decrease admin work, but it's not going to do as an actor. It's not going to figure it out on itself. It's not going to do anything instead of us that requires empathy, humanity, and emotional intelligence. So we have to make sure that we use it as an amplifier, not as an actor. So what is that kills progress? I think reading AI scripts, right? So you can generate coaching questions, but it's not something that you read as a script. You can skip emotional context that's going to destroy everything that you're trying to build, and never really following up on agreed actions. Okay, so we talked about it. You have to figure out the reason, you have to clarify it, and you have to act on it on the next session. And that is a really important part, to actually finish the feedback loop. And once you get or give feedback or get information, you have to act on it. So if you want to make sure that you transform your one-on-ones starting tomorrow to get 3 times more engagement, to not waste that 70% of time you spend with one-on-one meetings, let me know in the comments. Comment one-on-one and like the video, and I'll share you the 10 proven prompts that I use for one-on-one meetings, feedbacks, hard conversations, anything that is team member management. So if you want to make sure to see more leadership and AI videos, make sure to subscribe as well.